YouTube, it's Lisa, and it is my weigh-in Wednesday. I didn't have, I had a crazy week, so a crazy 2 weeks, so I only weigh in every 2 weeks. But just before I give you my results, let me just tell you that it was Thanksgiving, and I didn't have anything that I wasn't supposed to. I weighed and measured everything, and I didn't cross my bright lines. However, two things happened. Number one, coffee is a demon. I had been off of coffee and then I started drinking it because I needed energy for one day and then I needed energy for another day. And then I felt that energy was so great because I was getting my house clean for company that I had another cup, I had another cup. Well, eventually my stomach started burning. I mean, like aching, burning, screaming. And so I went off coffee, but I still had 3 days of burning. So I ended up having some snacks, no sugar, no flour, but I did have a banana and like another ounce of Triscuits just to try to settle my stomach. So my stomach resolved itself after I gave up coffee. It took about 3 days to get rid of that. So coffee is a demon. If you're off of it, don't ever go back to it. And oh, and I have a coffee alternative, but that deserves its own video. But then so the other thing that came into play was I ended up getting a kidney stone. And if you have ever heard people saying, oh my God, they're so painful. Yes, they are very painful. And I actually went to the emergency room. My brother and my cousin both died of an abdominal aneurysm on the aorta. And the only symptom for that, if you get any symptoms at all, is low back pain. And I was like, so I went immediately to the emergency room because it is hereditary, and found out I had a kidney stone. So I ended up also messing up my eating because of the medicine I was taking. I had to take it like, every 6 hours, and I had to take it with food. So basically I just didn't cross the line of sugar and flour, but I did cross the line with snacks. So that being said, I did still have a loss this 2 weeks, but it was very, very small. And so it was, so let's see, so I weighed, so my waist again was 31, so that's a 0 loss of inches. My weight was 158.8, so that is actually a 0.4 pound loss. But it was Thanksgiving and I did have snacks, so I'm gonna go easy. And I actually, when I'm done giving you the stats, I will tell you another thing I learned about weight loss, and it might actually benefit someone else, so I will tell you. Okay, and then my BMI went from 29.1 to 29, and my body fat was 35.9, and it stayed at 35.9. So kind of a disappointing 2 weeks, but all things considered, I had a loss, and that's really great. So I'm gonna take it. But that brings me to another thing that I think hindered my weight loss. And that is, so if you remember 2 weeks ago, hold on, I'm gonna check my handy dandy little Brightline book, which I'm gonna ask for a new one for Christmas because this one is falling apart. And let's see, so if, oh, my lighting just went out. Hold on. So I had made all sorts of notes to myself about getting back on track. Okay, so so week 16, so 2 weeks ago, I had also had a couple of snacks and stuff, and I was that was kind of back when I was first starting the coffee, and I didn't really realize why my stomach was burning, and so I had a couple of snacks trying to settle my stomach. The stomach thing is a huge thing for me. My stomach is very sensitive to caffeine and stuff. So so I had only had I had an extra banana here and an extra banana there, not a huge amount, but just like crossing those lines of the 3 meals a day, no snacks. And I consider myself pretty strict Brightlining, except for this last 4 weeks for one reason or another, and it hasn't had anything to do with the holidays. So anyway, so week 16, after having those extra snacks and bananas and stuff, no sugar, no flour, but extra snacks, I still lost 4.2 pounds, which was my biggest loss since I very first started. You know, when you first start, you kind of lose a lot of weight, like you're losing water and all that. So it was my biggest loss since I first started, and it was after having snacks. And I think mentally, I was kind of like, huh, if I can throw in an extra snack here and there and still lose more weight, then maybe I should do that. Well, this week proved that that is not the case. And oddly, I find it really inspiring because that, I think, was really affecting my mindset. And Susan Pierce Thompson actually does a video about it, and I will link it below. The video she does where she talks about a woman who goes, who kind of has this, she realizes that she's going and getting a piece of chocolate like every fourth night, and then but she's still losing weight, and because of that, she's struggling with stopping that habit, but she's bothered by what that is with her integrity. And I totally get that, because if I hadn't lost weight, I would have been much more strict, but I still lost weight. But it still bothers me. I am happier inside when I follow my bright lines strictly. So consider today a new day. The weight loss was a total disappointment, but it was also an inspiration. So that's my Wednesday weigh-in, and I hope this helps somebody. If you are bright line eating, please comment below, because I actually, so we live in Colorado, and I belong to this group of, I belong to a couple homeschool groups, and I belong to, we actually live on the Air Force Academy. And that's a long story about why we live here, because we're actually not Air Force. But so I belong to this Air Force Academy Wives Club and all this stuff, and I actually put out there on various groups, hey, if anyone's bright line eating, I'd love to start like a local support group where we could meet once a month or whatever and just talk about it. You know, cricket, 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 nobody. The only response I got was, what's bright line eating? So if you are bright line eating, please comment below, and I would feel greatly encouraged. So anyway, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.